What's up? Welcome to the Taniesha Westbrook Show. We're back with a new episode, and this is where we break down the hottest stories in marketing, branding, and business. All right, so I got two of my favorite people here with me today. Starting with my girl Kay Peasy. Kenya is a marketing and communications vet for over 10 years. What's up, Peasy? What you got going on today?
Hey, fresh off of my workout class. So I'm chilling today. Probably will be sore as hell. Oh, well, hell not that. Sore as hell tomorrow. Like, we laugh. But yeah, but I'm good. Good to be here with y'all.
And okay, I'm excited. I'm excited about today. And as y'all can see, we might as well call him the fourth co-host. All right. We got my husband, Greg Westbrook. Subbing
Just
in.
mess up my intro like that. Hump day. No, I'm
What's
doing good.
up? Oh, I gotta give you a proper intro. Greg Westbrook, the COO of Shop Black Fest. He's been a sales and marketing OG for over the last 10 years. And he is subbing in for it's been more than 10 years.
Yeah, lady.
I ain't trying to say y'all age. Like, dang, I said,
Give me
10 years.
15. Give me
Yeah,
15.
Okay.
you can say my age. I mean,
I'll
I,
take it because I don't look it. You feel me?
You feel
I
me?
as
Okay.
young as I feel. Okay.
But yeah, so Greg is subbing in for Tracy tonight. How's it going, Greg?
I'm doing great. Happy hump day. End of the week, end of the month coming. And yeah, it's been a good first couple of months of 2025 minus that crazy person in the White House, but other than that, we good.
Yeah, I said today that I was gonna try not to talk about 47. So
Okay. Cool. I'm with you.
yeah, I need a break.
Who won't give
Break.
him no light, no shine.
So we have some good stories today. Let's hop into the show. So we're gonna start with our um segment called Let's Be Real. And this is the question that I'm posing for y'all today. So I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of background. Um, the question is, do economic blackouts really work or are they just symbolic? So this is where this came from. Um, so this is a post from Jason Luntz. He's a fellow entrepreneur, but he said, in reference to Friday's blackout, for Black History Month, I believe the point is to get people in the mindset of understanding that economic disruption can make a difference. It will be extremely difficult to ask people to do a long-term boycott if they cannot commit to one day. Also, people want to do something. They feel powerless. This is one step in taking their power back. So this is in reference to y'all know what's going on. Companies like Target, Walmart, these big corporations, they have completely chopped their DEI departments and said bye bye to their initiatives. And so, as a community, we've decided, or some of us have decided, to not shop on the last day of Black History Month. So I'm gonna kick it to you, Peasy. Do you think that economic blackouts really work? Um, do you think they really hurt big businesses, or do they bounce back fast?
I think it's a both. So we've seen throughout history when there have been strikes and boycotts and the impact. Obviously, like some of these things have happened well before any of us were even thought of, but they've been taught to us, and ultimately changes were made as a result. I think because of the ways in which we've learned about certain boycotts
Is it me? Because I can't hear you.
Can't hear me at all.
I
It
can hear
was.
you
It,
now.
I can now.
Oh,
I don't know
dang.
what you were saying,
Y'all didn't hear nothing.
girl. It
Okay,
turned down.
well, in summation, I basically referenced, I ain't going back all the way back. You done put me up on the big screen. So what I was saying is, I think that boycotts or withholding economic dollars, like the people withholding their dollars, can be both symbolic and impactful. We can look at history and see that. I brought up the Montgomery boycott as an example, the sanitation strike that happened in Memphis. I think oftentimes we view those things as having like hundreds of thousands of people being involved and participating because of the lasting impact that those actions had. But in actuality, a lot of movements were really small and probably were met with more resistance than anything. I'm a believer of a small but mighty group of people can truly make a difference. But I think having one day of showing the power of solidarity with the people, being able to rally, can send a message to folks that are empowered, to companies, and let them know that should we be able to organize enough and really make a plan, y'all seen the impact that one day has had. Imagine what we can do if the people get fed up enough, or we get organized enough to set this up to be an ongoing thing. You could really take a hit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What do you think, Greg?
I mean, just co-signing. I think what came across my mind was just thinking about some of our leaders that we've had in the civil rights movement that have, of course, been strategically removed from power or killed. And really, what it comes down to is they don't want us to unify. And so, just putting a space together where we're able to unify, even if it just starts with one day. I mean, obviously, with Shop Black Fest, with the lifestyle that we live, we do our best to support Black-owned businesses on a regular basis. And I think in general, there has been a concerted effort to get rid of the mom and pop shops, the grocery stores, the stores that provide the everyday things that we need as humans, to not come from minority businesses. And so I think now it's time to go ahead and put that power back in our hands and get us on the right path of some change and some growth of what we want to happen moving forward.
Right. And it's not gonna happen overnight, right? Because um I think what was really important about the message that Jason said is like there's an awareness of to do something long term amongst the masses, we gotta have some type of strategy, um, because there's nuance, right? Like this, it isn't as simple as everybody we gonna hold our wallets even for a day. You have some people that can't afford not to work, that can't afford not to buy certain things. But this is what I think I mentioned this the last in our last show. Like this is where the power of community is so important, and us having a plan to fill in the gaps for the most vulnerable people in our communities, so that we can um, enforce collective action and make sure that to the best of our ability, folks aren't going without or at like severe risk to their health or their livelihood, um, or at the very least extending grace to folks who may be at risk, who can't, who maybe have the passion and desire to join and participate, but there are
Mhm.
circumstances that set them up to where they can't. So for us to either be making space to uplift them and support them through it, or having grace and understanding of those particular vulnerable communities that just can't so can't step up in this particular form of action.
Yeah, when I saw this post, one of the things, because I've been seeing conversation on social media, one of the things that I wanted to say was like, why is this even a debate? Why are we as people going back and forth about if we should participate or not, or how we should move forward? I think that this is a good step in the right direction. And again, it's not going to take one day for us to be able to make a difference. But as far as like y'all mentioned, like the buying power that we have, and then just deciding, okay, it like somebody said, if we can't organize for one day, how are we going to organize long term? So that was the thought that I had. Like, why is this a debate? And then the other thing that I was thinking about was, how do small businesses fit into this? Can they support it, or are they going to take a hit too? Um, in my mind, I think that small businesses can actually gain from this if we focus our attention on supporting small businesses and local businesses, minority owned businesses, and be intentional about it. Then they wouldn't necessarily take a hit.
Well, let me so again, leaning in nuance. I love what you just said, but this is something that has surfaced from other kind of movements, right? That I think when we're focused on, oh, this is an opportunity for small businesses to generate new business, like we can have an influx of new dollars. We also have to take into consideration the capacity of small businesses, because sometimes when a business is put in a position of an influx of demand that they're not prepared for, that can be just as harmful as them not having any demand at all. Like that can cause the demise of a business as well. And then also, I think we have to be fair, because one of the other things that you mentioned, or Greg mentioned, about the like demise of the mom and pop stores. Okay, when big box stores came into existence and caused mom and pop stores to kind of shutter, what happened? Folks then started to pivot and started like selling products in these stores and things, right? And I think this is one of the challenges with the whole situation with Target. You have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of minority founders, folks who have products that are in this store. So what happens to them, right? If they get a large portion of their revenue through this stream, if we do this blanket boycott, but this is a huge driver of their business. So I'm very much so a person that's down for the cause, but I'm also somebody that's always going to push for, like, we got to strategize and be clear
Mm-hmm.
about I'll think through the pros and the cons and understand that there are going to be some risks and some folks harmed as an unintentional byproduct, even with us having the best intentions. And then what do we do to try to mitigate that potential harm or support folks through to to accomplish the broader mission?
For sure.
Yeah, I. Oh, did you have something you wanted to add, Greg?
No. Yeah, I got it.
Oh, I was. I was just thinking about, before we move on to marketing tea, where we talk about news and business stories. Uh, just to add on to what you were saying, KP, this is kind of what the discussion was when it came to Tabitha Brown, and she's in Target, and she was like, at first she was like, I don't know what's going on. And then she pivoted and was like, well, we still need to support these black owned brands that are in these stores. So it's a lot of nuance there. Again, why are we debating this? Let's just start to make some steps. So, um, for the audience, my question to you all is, have you ever joined a boycott? Did it make a difference? If you did, share your experience in the comments. If you have did a boycott before, or what do you think about this topic in general? Are you participating in the economic blackout? I want to know. All right, so let's move on to marketing tea. Now we got some interesting stories today, y'all. So I want to talk about a little bit of competitive energy. Um, Recently, a company named Poppy, which is um, it's a beverage brand like soda. So they did this Super Bowl campaign, right? And they made a lot of people mad, right? So what they did was, um, oh look, did y'all hear that little ding?
I
Um,
did.
look, the ghetto. Okay, it's toned off now. So what they so what they did was they sent these giant vending machines to 32 influencers for their Super Bowl campaign, right? Now, they spent $800,000 on this campaign. They sent these big A machines to people's houses and they made a lot of people mad. Like people were pissed, right? Because they said that they felt like it was wasteful and out of touch with what's happening right now in the economy. So I want to share this video so y'all can see what I'm talking about because this guy had, look y'all, he had a vending machine at his house in his garage. Hold on, let's see. Y'all see this? So people were saying like, why y'all sending vending machines to people that are already rich? Like this is just a waste of money, and y'all are basically giving you. It looked like you saying, "What's the point?"
He don't even look happy.
No, I'm
Y'all.
just.
So this video,
I have so many questions before we even get to the outrage part. It's just y'all, the people that's mad did it. Like y'all did it. The reason why these folks is millionaires, these random people who became influencers, are who and what they are, and are being rewarded for being who they are. People, people's engagement, like it's. I don't know
people
what
just
is.
watching it.
Y'all gotta be mad at yourself. That was so
Well, I
dumb.
was gonna say that.
Hmm.
You said what?
I
What
said
was the
who
last
watched
part?
this whole video? Like who I would have clicked. There was a TikTok. The first I would have immediately swiped off because it screams Poppy commercial, and I don't need to see it. Like this, I don't need to sit and watch
Y'all, y'all, this video got like 130,000 likes, and
Why
like
was he so dry looking though? He was like,
we literally watched
I, I
somebody
got,
just get a
I
drink
got my
out the
poppy
machine.
drink.
But
look,
its goal though was to get people talking.
they
What
did.
are we doing right now?
Yeah,
Like
that's true.
we are talking about it, so I don't know what their strategy is. If and honestly, the more moves that they make, I'm starting to feel like that they kind of having like almost like am I using the right time? Guerrilla strategy where it's like we don't care, all press is good press. they
I mean,
gonna be pissed, and folks still it's our ledger says y'all still buying Poppy.
y'all still buying this soda. Now, to be completely candid, this is my first time hearing about Poppy. I had no idea.
Cause we
Me
Um,
ain't
either.
it ain't marketed towards us.
right. Exactly. So what I found interesting about this story though was that there was another brand who's like flavored water, right? They're based in New York and they're called Vita Coco or Vita Coco. And so in response to this ad, y'all, they clapped back, right? And what they decided to do, now this company is worth almost $2 billion. This Vita Coco company. So what they decided to do was in their office, they took like a regular shelf, right? They spent $25, went and got them some poster boards, put the poster boards on the shelf, and made it look like a vending machine. Then they went, then they went out into the community. Here it is, and they handed out 600 samples to regular people that just walking around in New York City. So they spent $25. It was DIY, and it had the same effect that Poppy had spending $800,000.
I say
It's
even
dumb.
more. This was marketing genius.
Absolutely.
Somebody was king or queen or in between petty, and this is what you call capitalizing on a moment because they listen. The people put the marketing campaigns together for you. All they had to do was sit on TikTok for uh 5 minutes and folks were literally giving examples of what somebody could have done instead for free.
Hmm.
Exactly.
I like
So,
Vita Coco. I
oh,
drink
you
their
do?
coconut water sometimes. Yeah, that's the brand
Oh,
we
Enjoy
get their coconut
coconut
water.
water. I didn't know that they had I guess with carbonated water or whatever y'all call these nasty
I
little
I hadn't heard of it either because I
Flavor
don't.
water.
I
Might as
said
well be
flavor.
soda, but
and then we won't have
it's
to have
watered down soda.
Oh wow. Basically,
nasty. All of it is probably nasty. Mm.
it is. It is. So
Soda with just a little less syrup.
Just get a drink.
at this point, but yeah, I hadn't heard of either one of these companies, but I did think that the spending $25, making your own little vending machine and handing out free samples, like that's how you drive. Okay. That's how you get in the booth and be creative with the budget that you have. So some of the points that I wanted to bring out when it comes to this is that in this day and time, if you're like a business owner, whether small business owner or these corporations, big flashy marketing can backfire. Like this is a this is a time where people are um paying close attention to their coins. The purses are closing, pockets are tight, and we don't want to see, back in the day, I would say even maybe like 2 or 3 years ago, luxury marketing was a thing. Like people were into seeing influencers and celebrities live these big flashy lives. But at this point, we don't want to see that. We do
Mhm.
not want to see that. So I think connecting with people directly builds trust, and it provides real engagement versus like focusing on spending a whole bunch of money just to um line these influencers pockets.
But to your point though, T, 5 years ago, honestly, that Poppy situation would have probably jumped because society at that point in time, again, going back to my statement about like y'all made these people rich and famous, and now you're mad that the power that we bestowed upon them is like they're leveraging it. But like I think that is a good reminder of why you should also keep a pulse on um society and like
For
how
sure.
things are trending in society, because today, yeah, them doing something for $25 and it being fun and quirky. In 5 or 10 years, people may not even blink twice at this. They may be saying, "Oh, this is like mean, and we're never gonna buy the cocoa again." So you gotta just kind of watch what are people talking about, what is it, what are the collective sentiments, and then plan
Mhm.
accordingly. And then the last thing that I'll add is also know your target audience. Like,
Mhm.
who are you really trying to attract? Because I think one thing that we're not focusing on is when you think about the price point for Poppy, honestly, I think their ad targeted the folks that they were wanting to target. I heard that, like, because I don't drink these, fact check me, folks, but I heard that, like, a case of Poppy can be like $35. I ain't buying no drinks. It would need to be like a 56 pack from Sam's or something that's supposed to be for a big party if I'm gonna pay that kind of money. But if a regular
Uh-huh.
little case of carbonated water, I'm not doing that. So that says to me like their demographic of people are looking for exclusivity. They're probably the Air One shoppers, right?
Yeah,
So Poppy may not they may not want to be relatable because that's not who they want to buy their product.
that is true.
That's
That is
fair.
true.
It actually
Um,
reminds me of when Ivy Park did their influencer campaign with those giant trunk boxes with the clothes in them, but she sold out. Like I can't remember what the timeline was, but it wasn't an ongoing strategy. It was like a quick money grab to me.
you know what? This was the perfect segue because our next story is about Beyonce. So, in the last few years, Beyonce has launched the Cowboy Carter tour. She's dropped a hair care line. She's dropped a whiskey line, and most recently, she dropped a perfume line. And the fans are asking Beyonce, do you owe the IRS or something? Because why are you dropping all of these products, right? Because we can't afford it. Uh, so speaking of reading the room, people are telling Beyonce, baby, you need to read the room, right? There are influencers that are making fun of Beyonce. They're talking about, the price of the ticket sales. So I have some questions for y'all, but I want to run down some of these prices because Kenya, you mentioned this earlier. Beyonce, people are saying like we is broke. We is broke. But all of her products are in their premium price. So
Mhm.
she's targeting a particular audience. So tour tickets, I had to go look this up because people were going crazy about these ticket prices. But to me, they were in line with what her tickets have always been. So her tickets, the ticket prices range for this Cowboy Carter tour from $70 to $400 and up to $3,000 if you're trying to get, freaky with the VIP.
Mhm.
Right. So to me, that's in line with what it has always been.
And with
Now,
the market of tickets for folks who have way less star power than Beyonce are charging
right.
state prices.
Now, look, I've been to all of her tours, but I will not be going to this one because I'm just not, I'm not trying to put on my cowboy boots. But, you know, it seemed in line to me with what you would pay. Now, Sacred, her hair care line, those products are premium priced as well. They start off like the small bottle starts off at $20 and goes up to $265. Yes, yes. I
Well, this
said
is how the weave come with it.
nope,
The glow with
nope. And let's talk about the perfume. So the perfume is priced at $160 for a bottle.
okay.
Okay.
Well,
So now I don't know the ounce. I don't know the ounces,
like,
but
that's a perfect
It's in her
straw.
hand. That bottle ain't that big.
I mean it's like, yeah,
That
that's
little,
true. It's eh.
10 ounces.
I for the body spray girls, I don't think this
oh yeah,
bottle
but if this is a perfume, I'm like, as a fragrance girly, I'm like, this
that could work.
in
Um,
line.
and for Sir Davis, for her whiskey, the starting price is $89 and it goes up to about twice as much for like a bigger bottle. So it's like I would say mid-range as far as the pricing, but um what do y'all think? Are y'all tuned in with the fans, or do y'all think Beyonce is she missing the mark, or is she doing what she got to do?
I think that what I thought about when you brought the story up was Rihanna. And of course they have like kind of the same marketing team behind their brands, and I think the difference is really just the relatability, and relatability goes a long way. I mean, Rihanna's prices are not, they're not like super cheap, but because she's relatable, because she's a down home type of woman, and we saw her grow up, a lot of people can relate to that, and they're willing to pay the prices regardless for Savage Fenty, for Fenty makeup and some of those other things. And the price points are probably not that far off from what Beyonce is charging. I think the difference is people feel like Beyonce is out of touch because she doesn't, you don't really get to see her personality. You see her as like this bigger than life personality that, I mean, not personality, just person or persona that essentially is just like she's putting out music, she's going on tour, and then you literally don't see her. And it just be like, okay, is this like some type of robot or something? So I think the relatability plays a huge point in how people relate and support. So
I,
that's my 2 cents.
to add to what you were saying, Greg, I actually would say more than relatability to me because I think, I mean, people support Beyonce could literally breathe, and people are gonna if she breathes and put it in a bottle, there's going to be a whole demographic of folks who legitimately
I'm
pay,
buying it. I'm
who
in
can
line.
afford it, but who would pay $1 million for this. So I think her star power is so great that she actually doesn't even have to be relatable. I think the key difference in, because I also thought about Rihanna, but I think the key difference is Rihanna didn't do everything all at once. And honestly, when I feel like most of the time when there's a celebrity known for something else who starts to expand their brand into other areas, there is typically a slower roll of the rollout. So when Fenty first dropped, it dropped with like just a couple of key products, and that's all it was for a while. And then other things were phased, and then Savage X Fenty was phased in a little later. You know, like all of the things, so we weren't bombarded with all the greatness. For all we know, everything could have been designed, packaged, and ready to go all at the same time. Kind of like iPhone, how allegedly that Apple, essentially already has the product designs for like phones years in the future, but they're gonna roll it out slowly. That's essentially, I think, what we typically see from when celebrities are expanding brands. But Bay is literally doing all the other difference is Rihanna started rolling out her or expanding on her brand when she stopped doing her music. So my theory is personally is that I think the queen is preparing for retirement. That like she's trying to set herself up for the things where she doesn't have to be performing and touring. She could be generating revenue in other ways and just exploring interests. Like at the end of the day, people forget that celebrities are also human and their interests and desires and things like they have the right to change. And she may be trying to figure out what's her next thing, but I think that her team, and this happens rarely because Beyonce to me has one of the like best teams ever. I think they might have overestimated people's infatuation with her being such a superstar legend, and given the timing that we're in, because to your point, T2, like folks are struggling like economically. And usually where folks are like, I don't care, Beyonce, I'm gonna get all of the things. Folks actually are in a position where they kind of can't really even do that, even if they want to. And then the last thing that I'll say is, y'all, Beyonce is a multi-millionaire. What is she, like a billionaire? What her net
She's
worth
close.
is major.
She's almost to billionaire status. The last
Her
time
net
I
worth is major, and what on earth do y'all think she know what's going on with us? I just be so surprised that go like when Mary J did her boots and people pissed off because she did designer boots. They has been rich and famous for a long time, and while I do think that she uses her artistry and her influence to move the needle for so many people and so many things, she still is really rich and wealthy. What kind of delusional world are we living in that we think Beyonce can relate to what we got going on around here, living paycheck to paycheck?
that's you know what? I'm glad you brought that up because I was actually going to talk about that. So, um, consumer confidence is down. So, in January it was at 105.3, and in February it dropped to 98.3. So basically people are less sure about the economy as a whole. And then in general, there was a study that says 75% of Americans have cut back on spending overall. So they're not even making those major life decisions like buying a house or going to school or retiring. Like people like we ain't got it, right? And we don't know how the economy is going to shake out. So for brands, I think it's important to be aware of how what's happening with the economy. Now here's the thing. The we are not in a recession. We are not in an economic downturn. However, because of inflation and because of what's going on politically and all of these different things that are happening, that are making the price of eggs go up. Um, the fact of the matter is that we're actually not in a recession, but people don't feel safe. They don't feel secure in spending that extra coin that they have or that discretionary income to just buy things like Beyonce's perfume. You know what I'm saying? So I think timing does matter. But the flip side to that, that I when you Kenya, when you mentioned like her rolling it out back to back, the
Mm-hmm.
thing is Beyonce, she had the Darion jeans or the Darion brand. She
Mm-hmm.
had Ivy Park.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, if you think about the span of her career, she was not just dropping a bunch of products. She didn't have any of these things. So on the flip side to like people saying, okay, slow down, I think maybe she is getting ready for retirement and it's been a long time coming. It might be that she's been working on these rolling out these products for a very long time and now she just wants to get it out. So, you know, again, Beyonce, she ain't marketing to the average buyer. She's not marketing to the average buyer. She's
Although I
marketing to
will say the prices of most of her things, with the except like I think again individually, like if it was slow roll, like we got something this year, and then maybe like mid next year it's like roll something out. In the grand scheme of things, if it was slow rolled, I don't think it would feel like a whole lot because like what she's charging for the perfume as a perfume girl, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much on brand. And honestly, I feel like she can charge us like premium off of her name alone.
yeah.
But the average perfume, like really good perfume that's like some type of name brand, it's gonna run you for the middle bottle like $130, $140. Um, but we'll see how she got an amazing team. So I think that they're keeping their ears to the streets, and we'll probably see them pivot a little bit in some way.
Yeah.
KP going for the job at Rock Nation.
You know what I'm saying?
She want to be
Hey, I would love to be on the team. Yeah, that is actually. I always say I was like I would love to honestly just shadow like Miss Yvonne who does like the PR work, the publicist for
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce, like to just 24 hours. Just let me see how
Let's
you
see what's
do what
going
you
on.
do. I am inspired by the work of their team. So yeah, hey,
I
if
know. I
they're
agree. I think she has a phenomenal team. One thing I wanted to just close out with when it comes to our stories, like luxury spending is on the rise, y'all. So in
I don't know how.
2024, people spent $68 billion. The people that are in that market of luxury spending, and it's expected to grow to over $108 billion by 2033, which is that's like 7 years from now, 7 or 8 years from now. Wait, is that my math? What's it, 2025? That's 8 years from now. So that's not that long. So it's expected to like really grow. So
Yeah.
we got some people who out here mad about the price of eggs, and we got some people out here like, I'm spending money.
Yeah, but
So
this gonna be the last thing I'm gonna say about this. But I think that is a symptom of the times, and I'm gonna take you there. The rich getting richer, the poor getting poor. So the more that folks who are doing the work to keep the economy going and flowing are struggling, and more of their money is going to different products and things like that because of inflation, because the cost is going up. Well, who owns these companies and these places that we're still having to pay into where the prices are going up? It's the rich people, and those are the ones who, yeah, I'm not surprised that they're gonna enjoy the fruits of the money that they're making while everybody else struggling.
yeah, maybe in the next show I'll talk about what's happening with the economy and how things are being disguised as being helpful for the middle class community, but actually um
What
being
middle?
more helpful. Exactly. Exactly. All right. So next up is my favorite part of the show, trend or trash. Yes, trend or trash. Woohoo! All right. So first up, we have an ad from now. This was I believe a Super Bowl ad. So Hellman's, they do the mayonnaise and stuff like that. They did a When Harry Met Sally reunion ad. Now, you know what? I ain't gonna even shade you, Greg, but I feel like this was in your time.
That
When
I
Harry Met
was just
Sally.
gonna say I have never seen this movie. What in the world?
you never we hear Miss Sally.
When Harry Met Sally. So
You was the one watching them old movies with your parents, watching
let's
Oh,
Little House on the Prairie.
is what they you making when Harry Miss Sally seem way older than what it is.
it's like it came out in the 90s. Now, so what they did was they recreated, because this ad is a little spicy, but they recreated um one of the scenes from the movie. So let's take a watch. Oh wait, we
Let
gotta
us
start
back
from
in this
seven.
place. What? No good?
No.
Oh. Here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, boy.
So good. Oh, it is so.
This one's real.
Oh. And that is a sandwich.
I'll have what she's having.
We were playing.
Okay, what y'all think? Because I think this was funny. Oh, we,
I feel like now looking at the scene, I feel like I have seen parts of that movie before. That's hilarious.
yeah. So, like I said, they recreated the scene from the original movie, and as you can see, those two actors, it's been a few years, but I think this was creative. It was edgy, like it was almost to the, too far over the line, but I think they did a good job of putting the messaging together.
Yeah, and I think even if if you saw that commercial, you had no context to like why these particular folks were chosen, why the scene was what it was, you still are gonna remember that commercial. You could have watched it and still been like, okay, what's going on? So yeah, good job.
Yeah.
I think it's funny that. Oh, go
Oh
ahead.
wait, my bad. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like both of these actors. It seems like they've been chilling for the last few years, but growing up in the '90s, I feel like I saw them all the time, so it was a little nostalgic as well.
I'm glad you brought that up, because y'all know like nostalgia marketing is a thing right now. So I think it was very smart to tap into nostalgia marketing. And as far as us being millennials, we are starting to have the biggest buying power. We are making up now the section of folks who go out there and buy the groceries and all of that type of stuff. And we really like nostalgia, apparently. So I think this was a great look for Hellman. I think it was good. All right. So we moving on to um Wally World. So Walmart recently did, I guess, a nostalgia type campaign as well. So let's take a look at that. It's loading. Give me a second.
I don't believe our love's terminal. I'm down on my knees, begging you please come home. What are y'all doing?
We're showing all our love to Black founded brands.
So what makes you feel this is love? The way I love these cookies? I'd fight for them.
The way this carrot's fit got us feeling fresh.
And how this lip bar.
Man, of course this one would have buffer.
I'm down on business. Down on business.
Show us how you spread the love for Black founded brands.
See, I think
Oh
we
my
gotta run this.
gosh.
I think we gotta run this a bit.
I'm like,
I get the breadth of the experience.
we
Go
gotta
back
run.
to the middle.
We gotta run it back. I'm gonna try it one more time. All right, we're
Everybody
gonna
be
try this
still.
again. Come on now. Everybody. Here we go.
No, I don't believe our love's terminal. I'm down on my knees, begging you, please come home.
What are y'all doing?
We showing all our love to Black founded brands.
So what makes you feel this is love? The way I love these cookies? I'd fight for them.
The way this carrot's fit got us feeling fresh.
And how this lip bar shade helps my glow up.
And I think we know a thing or two about spreading the love.
I'm down on business, down on business.
Show us how you spread the love for Black founded brands.
I'm split.
My bad, y'all. All right.
What are y'all doing?
You split. Why is it still going?
Uh,
Wait.
I'm
Oh,
like,
you think it's trend
both.
and trash? I'm just
I'm going with trend. Because if
So-
we're
it was a good commercial.
if
It
it's talking
was
about
good.
nostalgia, like
Nah,
if we're thinking in terms of, am I gonna remember that brand as a result of that commercial? If we look at it from that lens, I'm definitely gonna be thinking like that there was a Walmart commercial. However, comma to Greg's point, that was chaotic. It was a lot going on. That's part of why I remember it. But it was chaotic.
I don't necessarily. I mean, I agree with the chaos. They were trying to like fit a couple of different brands into it. I think my biggest thing was, okay, they took some notes. Obviously, that song went viral on TikTok recently. You know, Tanisha and I did the trend or whatever, and I had never heard that bridge part of the song. I felt crazy because I would hear the song on the radio and I never heard that part. So for like a couple of weeks after we did the thing, I would just sing it all the time. Tanisha used to get mad, but that points to the fact that somebody was in the marketing room that was paying attention to what's going on in social media, which is brilliant to me. Like, that's a really good thing. The song's already in people's heads, but I just hate that it's Walmart. Y'all cut DI, y'all doing all this stuff, y'all all on Trump's coattails, and now y'all want to support Black-owned brands at Walmart. So it's like similar to what you said earlier about we still have to support these brands who have some of their biggest revenue streams come through the big box stores. But I don't know, I'm just torn. That's all I got.
Yeah, everything that y'all said is true. I think as a Black consumer, it was authentic in a way, like they went and got Boys to Men, so Boys to Men got their coin. And
his
I don't know if
son,
y'all
Kanye's
knew that,
kids.
yeah, the kids in the commercial are actually their children, and they're in a singing group that that Boys to Men manages. So they got double the coins and kept it in the family. But do y'all think that people could have perceived it as insincere because it was Walmart? Like, I think that's something that uh, yeah, I'd be curious to know, like, if you're watching this in the audience, live or in playback, what are your thoughts on these ads? Do you think they resonated with you as a consumer? Are you feeling the nostalgia as a consumer or business owner? Or do you think that um they just didn't hit the mark? Like, especially with the Harry Met Sally, because some people might be like, who are these people and where did this movie come from? I've never seen this in my life. So yeah. So those were the two trend or trash ads that we had today. So as far as the show, I think this was a good conversation. Like, do either of y'all have some closing remarks that you want to share, especially when it comes to um, everything that's happening with the economy and these marketing teams? Like, what are y'all thoughts? What is one thing that you could share with like a small business owner or a micro business owner about uh, how to keep going in this economy or learn from, one of these stories?
Mm.
I would say, oh, is it like,
Don't
go
all
ahead.
go at once. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I
because I'm like,
promise.
everybody.
I didn't have nothing.
I, I was kind of ask two things. I was like, okay, do I want to respond to how to keep going in the economy or like a take away from the conversation? So that was my file. Are you? Oh, y'all ready for y'all? Want me to jump in?
Yeah, I thought you were going.
I thought we was just naming why we had hesitated. Okay, I can go. So the one thing I think I'll just go broader. What I hope folks take away from this conversation is that know your business identity. Like, what are your core values? Um, who is it that you are targeting? Or want to market to, and what's your ultimate goal? Um, and always go back to that when you're making key decisions, even down to from who you partner with to how you're advertising, and keep a pulse on society. What's happening broadly, what's happening specifically with your target audience, and if you're looking to grow and scale, what's happening with the audience that you're wanting to target, and prepare to pivot as people's wants and needs and desires start to be, but you want to kind of get to a point where you can estimate the trends and then adjust your strategies accordingly.
Yeah, those are some great points. I'm glad that you tied all of that together. What I would add is that as a small business owner, I think it's important to remember that you need to use what you have right now. So a lot of times we think that we can't do the marketing that we want to do or appeal to our customers because we don't have the resources, we don't have the funding, we don't have the team, whatever it is that we don't have. But I think it's important to focus on what you do have. If you think back to the story of the flavored water brand or coconut water, uh, they did their marketing campaign with $25, right? So to me, what I would say is focus on how you can be creative, how you can tap into the resources that you have available to you right now. And like Kenya said, take one of these moments that's going viral, like the on bended knee. It don't take no money to create a TikTok from a trending audio and put a campaign around it. So those are my thoughts there. What do you think, Greg?
I piggybacking off what y'all said, I really just enjoyed the storytelling part of the marketing campaigns. I think that whether it's nostalgia, whether you're just tying something to some type of story, try to figure out how to tell a story in a way people can resonate with it, regardless of what it is, and run it.
Yeah. So if you are new to the Tanisha Westbrook show, that's okay. Make sure that you go back and watch our previous episodes. On every episode, we're dropping gems when it comes to marketing, branding, and business. Okay. Um, if you are watching this on the playback, drop a comment. What is your biggest takeaway from today's show? If you know a fellow business, if you're a business owner or you know a business owner who needs to hear this information, and then make sure you follow and subscribe, turn on your notifications, whether you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, so that you can join the conversation. And if you have any questions, stories that you want to share, things that you want us to review or give our 2 cents on, send me a DM and I'll be happy to add it to the show. All right. Thank you for joining the Tanisha Westbrook show. That's it for today. Keep building, keep learning, and keep making smart moves. See y'all next time.
Millennial Peace Time.
Hey.